Hello and welcome. Today is day 6 of your 7-day yoga challenge. So we are nearing the end. We just have one more day left after today. And today we will be focusing on the core. So this may be a bit more of a challenging class, but I hope you remember that this is your body, your practice. This is your time on your mat. So please do what feels right for you. Take breaks whenever you need to, take water. Make this practice feel right for you. Let's begin by lying down on our back. Take up lots of space on your mat. The feet can flop it open towards the edges of the mat. Palms can face up or down. If it feels better for you to have the knees bent, you can do that. If it feels okay for you to close your eyes, I invite you to do that. And if that doesn't feel right for you, then just keep them open. Make any adjustments, make any movements that you need to make in order to eventually find stillness. Notice your breath. Bring your attention and bring your awareness to your breath. Each breath moving in and each breath moving out. Feel your body lying down on the mat. Allow the body to feel grounded and heavy and centered. Feel the ground and your yoga mat supporting you as you lie here. Allow your body to become a little bit softer, a little bit more relaxed. Continue to allow the breath to flow however it wants to, through the nose or through the mouth. Let the breath flow as effortlessly as it can. Take a couple more breaths. Begin to bring your attention to the room that you are in, the walls around you, the floor beneath you, the ceiling above you. Begin to bring some movement into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, Maybe rotating the wrists and the ankles. Perhaps reaching the arms up overhead, taking a big stretch from fingers all the way down to the toes. Hug the knees into your chest, wrap the arms around the legs, and rock from side to side, rolling towards the right hip and right shoulder, and then towards the left hip, left shoulder. From here, open the arms out into a T, legs up to 90 degrees. Release the legs over to the left-hand side. The right leg is stacked over top of the left. You're in a supine twist. You can turn your head to look wherever you like, or you can keep it exactly where it was. Take just one more breath here. Bring your legs back through center and then release them over to the right-hand side. You can turn your head to look wherever you like, or you can keep it exactly where it was, if that felt good. Allow your legs to soften down towards the ground. Allow both shoulders to relax down as well. One more big breath here. Bring your legs back to center. Extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. Arms come alongside your body. And from here, lower your right leg down to a hover just above the ground. Flex your toes towards the knees. Stay here for a couple of big breaths. Make sure that as we hold this pose, that you're not also holding your breath. Good, bring the right leg back to center to meet the left. Lower the left leg down to a hover above the ground. If it feels better for you, you can bring your hands underneath your hips to provide a little bit more support in this pose. Just one more breath right here. Keep the left leg hovering. Bring the left leg back up to meet the right. Let's continue just like this, moving nice and slowly and with control. Right leg lowers down to that hover. Make sure your breath is flowing in and out through the nose or the mouth. Bring the leg back up. Left leg will lower down just to a hover above the ground. Bring the left leg back up one more time on each side before we pick up the pace. The right leg will lower down just to that hover. Flex all 10 toes towards the knees a little bit more. Bring the right leg back up to meet the left. Left leg will lower down just to that hover. Allow the upper body, the shoulders, the neck, and the head to be nice and relaxed on the ground here. Bring the left leg back up. Both legs up to the ceiling. Lower your right leg down to a hover. Lift it back up. Left leg down, back up. Right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg. Do a few more just like this. If you would like to move slower or if you would like to move faster than I am moving, that is good. Move at your own pace, finding what feels right for you in this moment. Let's do one more on each side. Good. From here, legs up to the ceiling. Reach your arms up towards your feet. Lower your right leg down to a hover and the left arm down to a hover behind you. Lift everything back up. Right arm down, left leg down. So opposite arm, opposite leg, come back to center. Right leg, left arm. Back up. Left leg, right arm. Back up. Right leg, left arm. Back up. Continue just like this, doing a few more on each side. One more on each side. Good. From here, release your arms alongside your body. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. From here, come up into boat pose. So bring your hands to your hamstrings. Rock back and forth along your spine. Coming up to balance on your sit bones. Arms can reach out in front of you towards your toes, or hands can come down to the mat. Your feet can also come down. Make sure though that you are leaning back and that wherever you are in the pose, you are feeling this in your core. One more breath. Good. Bring the feet down, planting the feet down in front of you. Hands will plant down back behind you. The fingers can face whatever direction you prefer. Press down into the feet and into the hands to lift your hips and your heart up towards the sky. Take one more breath here in your reverse tabletop. Lower your hips down, lift your legs up, lift your arms up alongside your legs, come back into boat pose. Reach your heart up towards the ceiling. Plant your feet, plant your hands behind you, lift yourself up into reverse tabletop. Reaching the hips up, reaching the heart up towards the sky. Fingers are spread nice and far apart. Good. Lower down one more time through boat pose. Lifting the legs up, reaching the arms towards the feet. Leaning back, making sure you are feeling this in your core. Reach your chest up, finding more length through the spine. Good. Plant the feet down, plant the hands down. Fingers can face however you like them, but fingers are spread nice and far apart. Press down into the feet and into the hands to lift your hips and your heart up towards the sky. 3 breaths here. Think of drawing your feet back towards your shoulders, towards the back of your mat, to feel this more in your hamstrings. Good. Lower your hips down. Bring your feet together, the soles of your feet together and the knees out to the side. Grab onto your ankles or your feet. Reach your heart up. Find length through the spine. Inhale. And then exhale to fold down towards the feet. Take a few breaths here, noticing how your hips are feeling. Start to come back up, sitting nice and tall, and make your way over to a tabletop position. Hands and knees, all fours. Tuck all 10 toes under, fingers spread nice and far apart. Bring your hands a little bit further out in front of you and lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. You can pedal it out here. Find any movement that feels really good, natural, and intuitive to your body at this time. Let's inhale to look forward to your hands. Exhale, step or hop, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins, gaze forward, reach your heart forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Inhale, let's keep it moving, reach up. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back. Plank pose. Hold your plank for a few breaths here. If you would like to drop the knees down to the ground, you can untuck your toes, hang out here, or you can keep the knees lifted. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and far apart, and the shoulders are stacked over top of the wrists. Good, take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to make your way, however you like, to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, reach your heart forward, find length through the back body. Exhale to fold down. Inhale, come all the way up. Look up towards the hands. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands down to the mat. Step it back, plank pose. We'll be here for a few breaths. And as always, you are welcome to drop the knees down. You can untuck the toes, or you can keep the knees lifted. Find a nice long line through the body from the very top of your head, the crown of the head, all the way back to the heels of your feet. One more breath. Good, take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward to your hands. Exhale to make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Inhale, reach up, look up towards the hands. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back, plank pose for a few nice deep breaths. So anytime that we are holding a pose, make sure that you're also not holding your breath. So the breath is still flowing easily and effortlessly in and out through the nose or the mouth. Good, take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out, find any movement that you like. From here, shift forward to plank pose. We'll come into side plank with the right hand down, rolling over to the right side. Left arm will reach up. The feet can be stacked, left foot over the right foot, or staggered, left foot in front of the right foot. If you would like to bring the right knee down, you can do that, keeping the left leg straight. Or if you would like to plant the left foot in front, the left knee is bent, you can do that as well. Finding a little bit more support in the pose. Keep the hips lifted up. One more breath. Good, bring the left hand down. Lower down to your belly, slowly with control. As you lower down, you can drop your knees down to make that transition happen. Fingers spread nice and far apart, hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale to lift up to cobra. You can stay lower down or lift up higher. It's up to you. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower. From here, bring your hands underneath your forehead. One hand over top of the other, resting the forehead down onto the hands. And from here, keeping everything just as it is, lift the arms, the head, the chest up. Inhale. Exhale to lower. 3 more times. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, fingers spread nice and far apart. Make your way back to downward facing dog, coming through tabletop or plank. And then lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. From here, shift forward to plank. Shoulders are stacked over top of the wrists. Find this nice long line through the body. Roll over to the left side. Left hand stays planted down. Right arm will reach up. Your feet can be stacked or staggered. And if you prefer, the left knee can come down to the mat. Finding a little bit more support in the pose. Right leg is still extended long. Or you can plant the right foot down in front of you. The right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Take a couple more breaths here in side plank. Good, come back to plank. Right hand will come to the mat. Lower all the way down to the belly. You can drop your knees down if you would like to. From here, reach your arms out to a T off to either side. Inhale, lift everything up off of the ground. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. 3 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Make your way back to downward facing dog. However you would like to get there is great. Take 1 more breath here in your downward facing dog. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bring your hands together at heart center. Come up into a halfway lift. Reach your heart forward. Bring your hips back, finding length through the spine. Come all the way up to stand. Exhale to fold down just halfway. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower. Hold here in your halfway lift, but make sure you're not holding your breath. You can reach your arms out to either side, off to a T, or you can keep your hands together at heart center. A couple more big breaths. The knees can be as bent as they need to be here, so the legs don't have to be completely straight. From here, hands together at heart center. Come all the way up to stand. Reach the arms up. Inhale, big breath. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands down, step back to plank. Downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Shift forward to plank. Come into side plank with the right hand down, left arm will lift up. The feet can be however you like them. Come back to plank. Come to side plank on the other side, left hand down, right arm will reach up. So we're just transitioning from side to side. Come back to plank. Right hand down, left arm up. Come back to plank. Left hand down, side plank. Keep lifting the hips a little bit higher. Come back to plank. Side plank on the right side. Come back to plank. Side plank on the left side. Come back to plank. We'll do one more on each side. Right side, side plank. Come back to plank. Left side, side plank. Come back to plank. Downward facing dog, send the hips up and back. Take one more breath in your downward facing dog. Look forward as you inhale. As you exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Come all the way down to sit. Hands come together at heart center. Sit your hips down. You can use your hands for some assistance and some support if you need to. Take as much time to come to a seat. Legs are bent out in front of you. From here, hands together at heart center if you can. And then come all the way down onto your back. From here, reach your arms behind you. Come all the way up to a seat. Reach your hands towards the top of your mat. Then hands together at heart center. Try to come all the way up to stand. You can bring your feet closer towards your hips. Maybe you reach your arms out in front of you. Bring all of the weight to your feet. As you come up to stand, reach your arms up overhead. We'll do that a couple more times. Hands together at heart center. Sit your hips all the way down to the ground, slowly with control. Legs are bent out in front of you. Lower all the way down to the ground. Reach your arms back behind you. And then come all the way up. Touch your feet with your hands, reaching forward. Hands together at heart center. Bring your feet closer towards your hips. Maybe you reach forward with your arms, bringing all of the weight to your feet as you come all the way up to stand. Hands together at heart center. Let's try that one more time. Come all the way down to a seat, coming through chair pose, sitting the hips down. Legs are bent out in front of you. Come all the way down to your back, lowering yourself down. Reach your arms back behind you, and then sit all the way up. Touch your feet with your hands. Hands together at heart center, bring your feet closer towards your hips. And then start to bring the weight forward into your feet, leaning forward as you come all the way up to stand. Reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Hang out here for a few breaths. You can bring the feet all the way out to the edges of your mat if that feels good. The knees can be as bent as you would like them to be. Maybe you bring opposite hand to opposite elbow, or you allow the hands to come down onto the ground. And no worries if that previous exercise or movement wasn't working so well for you. Perhaps you tried this class again, you keep working at it, and you see progress over time. Try to be gentle and kind to yourself. Show yourself some compassion knowing that you are doing the best that you can. Bring your feet towards one another. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come onto the shins. Plant the hands down, step back to plank. Lower the knees down. Bring your legs out in front of you. Come to a seat. Legs are bent. Coming back into boat pose, but adding on from here. So lift your legs up. Arms come alongside the legs. Fingers reaching towards the feet. From here, leave your right arm where it is, and then reach your left arm back towards the back of the mat. Look towards the left hand, keep your chest lifting up. Bring the left arm back to center, traditional boat pose. Keep the left arm where it is, and the right arm will reach back towards the back of the mat. Look towards the right hand. Keep your chest lifting up. Come back to center. Left arm will reach back. Look towards the left hand. Come back to center. Right arm will reach back. Look towards the right hand. Come back to center. One more on each side. You can do it. Left arm reaches back. Looking towards the left hand. Back to center. Last one right here. Right arm will reach back. Looking towards the right hand. Come back to center. Plant your feet down. Bring your hands back behind you. Lift your hips, lift your heart up towards the ceiling, reverse tabletop. Take one more big breath here. Lower your hips down. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Taking as much time as you need to make that transition. Finding any movement that feels good in your downward facing dog. And just a reminder that the heels do not have to be reaching the mat. And also, the knees can be as bent as they need to be. Let's step the right foot forward in between the hands. Keep the left knee lifted. Left hand plants down. And the right arm will reach up towards the sky. Can you draw your left heel further back behind you? And can you reach the right fingers higher up towards the sky? Can you breathe a little bit deeper? Right hand will come down. Bring the right foot towards the right edge of your mat. Both hands come to the inside of your right foot. And we'll just be here for a couple of breaths. You can rock forward and rock back from side to side. Or add any other movement into the pose that you like. Bring the right foot back to center. Your hands will frame the right foot. Step it back, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Left foot will step through in between the hands, top of the mat. Right hand will plant down. Left arm will open up, look towards the left hand, if that feels okay for your neck. And can you draw the right heel further back behind you? Lift the left fingers higher up towards the sky. Can you allow the left knee to be directly over the left ankle? Bring the left hand down to the mat. Bring the left foot to the left edge of your mat. Both hands come to the inside of the left foot. Rock forward and back or from side to side, or add anything else that you like to your lizard pose. We won't be here for too much longer, so get right into it. From here, bring the left foot back to center. Your hands will frame the foot. Step it back, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Find any movement that feels good. Pedal it out through the legs. Shift the hips from side to side. Take a couple more breaths here in your downward facing dog. Bring your knees down. Bring your legs out in front of you. Make your way all the way down onto your back. Take up lots of space on your mat as you make your way down. Reach your arms up overhead. Stretch the legs out long in front of you. Find a big full body stretch from fingers down to the toes. Then hug your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, and rock from side to side. Once again, legs go long, arms go long, up overhead. Find a big stretch here. Hug everything in, knees come in towards the chest, wrap the arms around the legs. Rock from side to side. Last time, take the legs long, take the arms long up overhead. Point and flex the toes and the feet a few times. And then hug everything in, knees in towards the chest, arms around the legs. Rock from side to side. Give yourself a little bit of a bigger hug here. Maybe bringing opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe even bringing the forehead towards the knees. And then release everything long. Open everything up. Come into your Shavasana. Make any adjustments, make any movements that you need to make in order to settle in. Notice how you are feeling. Notice how your body is feeling. And notice how your mind is feeling. And can you just allow yourself to rest right now? please stay in your Shavasana for as long as you would like. Take all the time that you need. Thank you so very much for joining me for practice today and for sharing your practice with me. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss any of my other videos or any of the other challenges that I'll be putting up on my YouTube channel in the future. I would love it if you leave a comment in the comment section of this video letting me know how this class went for you or how this challenge is going for you. I always love hearing from you. And if there's someone that you know that you think would enjoy this challenge or this yoga class, you can share my channel or this class with them. I hope you have a wonderful day. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.